I came to Primera because my husband and I diligently did our research, and we determined that this was the place we wanted to come, based off of information, based off of Dr. Gross's history, his education, and our visit with the staff. When I first met Dr. Gross, I realized that pretty quickly that he was a physician that I really wanted to do my procedure. He was efficient, he was personable, he showed me digital imaging, which none of the other physicians had been able to do. And his knowledge, his compassion, his honesty about what we were going to do was just spot on. It was just the most personable relationship that I had had with a physician concerning any of the procedures we were looking at having done. He made me feel warm and fuzzy. I don't know what other way to say it, but I got that warm and fuzzy when I had my conversation with him. When we walked into Primera, the waiting room was professional and it was gorgeous, but the difference really didn't take place till after we walked behind the door. Seeing the facility where Dr. Gross actually does the procedures, seeing the waiting area where my husband was going to be made comfortable while I was in the surgery room, the overall feeling, the cleanliness, the organization. Every person was consistent in their professional attitude, in their personable approach to me and to my husband. They included him in everything, and you don't get that everywhere. And it was very important to both of us that he be fully aware and involved in what was happening. The facility, just the cleanliness, the organization of it, there was nothing about what we saw that we did not like. We were pretty sure where we were going when once we made the decision to go with Dr. Gross before we even left the building, but that computer imaging really brought it home for us. Because it's not just computer imaging. It isn't just you seeing how good you can look. It was Dr. Gross saying, this is how I can make you look. And those two things combined were just phenomenal. You could truly see, look at where you were now and where he was going to take you, even to the point of telling you that your results would be probably better than what you were seeing on the screen. And for him to stand there looking at this image that we thought, wow, that's how I can look, and him telling me, this is what I can do for you, it really made a big difference. It made me more comfortable in what I could expect. And being comfortable with all of it is so important. The results that I received were just phenomenal. I could not have been more happy with what we saw when I looked in the mirror after the healing process was done. In addition, my husband was thrilled. As I mentioned before, Dr. Gross has a digital imaging that shows you what the expected results might be, and he was very honest. He told us at the time that chances were pretty good that the actual results might be even better than what we were seeing on the screen. He was right, and we were absolutely thrilled with the results. The thing that I liked best about it was when I went back to work, it wasn't quizzical looks, it wasn't, looking at me oddly on, boy, why do you look different? It was, wow, you must have had a great vacation because you really look rested. And that is absolutely the result that I wanted to have. When you look at my before and after pictures, the thing that really jumps out at you is how natural I look. It wasn't like there's this drastic change that took place after the procedure and people looked at me like they didn't know who I was. When you saw me, you thought that I looked rested. You thought that I looked like I had a tan. People ask that typical question that they sometimes ask, what'd you do different, but not that quizzical look of you look odd. The results were very natural, and that really is truly what you want from your plastic surgery. You want a physician that allows you to look good, to feel good, but to look naturally, to look like you. You want to look like you. You want to look like you looked 10 years ago. I don't want to look 25 years younger. I want to look better, I want to look like myself, and I want to look like I had nothing done. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and these two images really do express and show you, better than I can express, I should say, my results. This, of course, is me prior to my surgery with Dr. Gross and his staff, and this is me after. I don't keep these anymore, and I might take this one with me when we're done. But it really is, that's all I can really say, is if you look at the difference between the two images, then you will see my results. It's 10 years plus better. There really is nothing else I can say. This is proof of how good the experience was with Dr. Gross and his staff.